Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna be bringing you a few duels, but before I do that, I just want to give you guys a few updates. Um, First of all, I made a few changes to the deck. I listened to your guys' advice, got rid of Allure, and got rid of Celestia, and placed them with Honest, and found a way to put in the Veilers. I put in Mind Control for just extra ability to steal Utopias and any other tuners or anything that's out there. And I put another decree and took out the solemns. So just a little quick update there. And I'm also going to be running a new DN account because the other one it got all good, but it's nice to run a YouTube account that has the same name as your DN account. So I'm going to be Yugioh Yankee as two separate words on DN, like there. So yeah, um, there was the little bit of update there, and gonna be a few duels coming up. See you in a bit. Well, what do you guys know? I got a game in for you against the enigmatic Fade. So, I open up pretty trashy, double necro, and decreeing like, well, this could be better. But he plays the Gagaga Magician and a Secret Village of the Spellcaster. I'm not very happy. So I top deck JD and realize my only play right now is to set Reiko and set Decree and hope for the best. So his turn, he plays, of all things, Temperance, Prophecies, Spellbooks. Isn't this, deja vu? Don't worry, this time to do a lot better. So he plays a spellbook, searches, gets rid of Prophecy, summons his Priestess. And I was thinking he might pop, but of course he wouldn't know it's a Reiko. So he sets monster before the battle phase, like a good player, I guess, and runs into my Reiko. And at this point, I have options. I can destroy the village in case, I can destroy the back row, but in the end, decided to destroy the Priestess because it has, a popping effect, which just get rid of my back row anyway. So I actually mill pretty dang good, and I decided to just take my 1500 like a champion. During the end phase, I go Decree just in case that's a trap, and then I top deck Trooper. I'm like, well, may as well just use that Trooper. And I'm hoping for mills for a JD at this point. Unfortunately, I mill bad, but I still run over that Gagaga Magician. So he takes his 300 and then his 400th like a champion. And then he just kind of, takes his turn. I have nothing better as my turn, so I just pass. So his turn, he just plays his spellbook, searches for the Book of Life, because they run 4 Monster Reborns. They're so cool. And does the obvious play of playing it and bringing back Priestess after showing me the power. So at this point, I'm expecting to take a lot of damage. So he brings back Priestess, and instead of playing power, he just goes straight for the attack. I lose my 21 and draw a card. A dead MST, because, that good old village is there. Top deck the BLS, and I'm like, this could be good if I had a dark. So I have Necrogardenas, and I'm thinking, okay, I could go for Trooper Mills, or I can set Trooper and draw next turn, or I can set Necro, and no matter what, he'll either think it's a Reiko, or he'll try to crash into me. And be fine with it. Either way, I'll have an attack negation. So I set the Necro, set MST for bait, and he plays Fog King. And I'm like, what is this? I'm confused. So then he plays that guy. Yeah. And then he detaches. And I'm not sure why he did this, because he had the spellbooks to banish with Priestess, but whatever. So I knew he'd pop that, but just making sure. He pops the second one, and then rams into what he thought was probably a Reiko. So now I have a Dark in the grave, and I'm sitting pretty. Top deck Illumina, and I'm like, oh, we have plays now. We have everything now. So I play Illumina, and ask if it's okay, just in case, that's something trashy, like a freaking trap hole or a warning. And so I use the effect, ditch the Gardna, and target the Lila. There's no response, and after waiting a little bit to see if anything would happen, I play Lila, and instead of popping the village, I pop the back row, because I'm more afraid of that with the BLS than anything else. The village at this point does not matter. I could care less for it. So, with the back row gone and all fear gone, I banish a Necro and a Veiler, play BLS, and run him over. So there's 200, and then there's 3,000, and then after he takes his damage, I finally run into him with Lumina and hit him again. So he's chilling at 34. So I actually get good mills, or at least I get to mill a lot. Of course, the first few mills not very good, but I milled a Garoth and another Lumina, so I'm pretty good. There's not a lot he can do. So he plays a Gakaga and goes for Public of Power, obviously forgetting that I have the second Necrogardna in the grave. So all I do is just banish that and negate his attack, and he's probably like, that's not cool. For some reason, he stays in, passes, and then I'm like, well, I do have a JD. Making sure I check my grave, I'm like, yeah, it's a JD. But let's just go for Lumina effect, because I don't want to be, you know, a jerk. But he has the Veiler, and he's a cool kid. But anyway, this is pretty much the duel, because I summon JD, and it's over. So, there's the first duel, guys. Lightsworns too strong? Yay. You'll get another duel probably in a few minutes. Yay. And here's a second game against the Horde. All these people only did single games, so there's nothing I can really do. And I do end up winning this game too, and it's not because, you know, I'm only picking out wins, just these are back-to-back games for me. So I played Charge and realized, wow, that's a bad mill. Mill all of my one-ofs? Okay. So I played a Charge, have a Lumina in hand, and a Recharge, and a Necro. I'm like, yeah, let's grab the second Lumina, because that's awesome. Played a Recharge to dump a Lumina in there, and draw my two, a JD and a Lila. Mill Lila, which I don't remember is in there, you'll see, and a Necro. So I do Lumina, and instead of doing Necro first, I do Lila, just because I forgot I would need another Lightsworn target in there for the next one, but it already had one. But anyway, I do the second one, dump the second Necrogardna, bring back the Lila, and feel pretty about myself. And then I just set the Book of Moon, just in case anything happens, and mill 9 like a champ. When you mill 9, you're gonna mill bad and good, and overall, I'd like to say good mills. And because the last one is the third Necrogardna, so you're not getting in on me. But he MSTs the Book of Moon, and then sets and passes. So I'm like, wow, he's giving me everything. So I do the obvious Lila pop, and he actually is playing Worms. I don't know, never really played against Worms. So he bounces my Lumina, and I think, wait, that just made it right there, so I can easily drop these JDs. So I go, if I dump the Lumina, and I grab the Raikou, that's 4 in there. And instead of just normal summoning the Lumina again and doing that with the duality, I want to be sure I have 4 in there even if he Veilers. So this way, I have a guaranteed JD no matter what he does. And Skype is saying Strange Bean is on. Woo. Anyway, I hit him in the face for 3,000, and I'm like, I fear no gores. So I mill my 4, and it's a pretty solid mill, and turn. And this duel's pretty short, because all he's going to do is set him on, or set a back row, and I do the JD pop, and then drop my second JD for a game. So yeah, there's another game. And yeah, I got a third duel for you guys, because I could actually fit it within the timeline. So, yeah. Got facing, I don't even know his name. But anyway, open okay, average. And turns out I'm facing the Crystal Skull guy, whatever. I don't know what they're called anymore. I don't remember their OCG name, but that's kind of how I know them. It makes sense somewhere. So he uses the effect, I Valor it, and for the first while in this duel, it's just me trying to dodge that guy's effect. So, he sets 2, passes, I go blind MST, and hit the Mirror Force. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to Duality, because I'm not going to Special Summon this turn. Necro, bad. Sorcerer, bad. Recharge, obviously take it, but then after taking it, I'm like, crap. Do I want to get rid of this Lila? Ugh. Like, Lila's my main way to get over that guy. I'm not sure if I want to, do that. But I'm like, YOLO. Yeah, I said that. I'm sorry. So you're heavy in Book of Moon. I'm like, crap. Well, the Book of Moon makes me think, okay. I'll live. I can block his effect. And no, I don't have the Millennium Eye. I left it in my other pair of leather pants. So he sets first for some reason. And he goes through the effect. I say yeah because I want him to go through his hand. So he summons that thing. And he tries to use his effect, but I Book of Moon the jet. So he can't do anything this turn, which makes him sad. So I draw, and so Raikou, I'm like, this is not going particularly well. So, set Raikou, and pass, chilling with that heavy in my hand, which, in hindsight, I really should have used it right now. Like, I should have used it. So he does a Skull Search, and grabs another statue, the Moe statue, and, the Exceeds begin. So, there we go, here comes a Tiras, nothing to do about that. And after a little while thinking for him, he finally makes his number 6. So I'm like, dang. So he kills a Necro with Tiras, and then he runs into Raikou with the other thing. I, of course, Raikou that, because I know he'll chain that card, so I do my Decree and think I'm cool, but he changes Solemn Judgment. So I'm not happy. But I at least get my mills, and yeah, mill my Necro, and mill Illumina, which nothing really special happens this duel. So, he ends his turn, I top deck the BLS, I'm like, yay, Saxworn! So I, of course, banish Necro, and banish the Valor, and play BLS, ram into Tiras, ram into the other guy, and now it's a top deck war. And unfortunately for me, he top decks. He top decks the Dark Hole. So the game has now completely become a top deck war. I top deck MST. That's not good. He top decks nothing and passes. I get Duality. It's a good thing it still exists. So of the 3 choices, I grabbed the Chaos Sorcerer because I do have a Dark in the Grave. And worst comes to worst, it is a threat in my hand. So, yeah. I'm investing for next turn. So he draws, and three faders in his hand. Well, he only had 2. So he sets a monster, passes. I top deck Jane and feel real good about myself, because now I'm going to be able to do things. So at this point, I know I'd banish Necro. I was just thinking for a second, what else do I want to banish? I was like, I don't need to get rid of... I don't need JD in there. Because I did have 4 Lightsworns in there. So, yeah. So, end my turn. Mill my 2. And he draws. And he YOLOs his MST. And there you go. The duel is pretty much over now because he scoops. So, I just want to say thank you all very much for watching. I'll be hopefully doing more profiles and more decks for you soon. Thank you again to your Yugioh channel, and thank you everyone for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, tell me what you like and want to see. So yeah, Yankee out, guys.